Housewives in the island, baby. So let the party start. Them woman beautiful as ever. The sun is hot, boy. Are you ready? Ha!
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls and Astrologer's trip. So we start the episode off with all the women horseback riding by the beach. Luann, she splits away from the group to go into the sea with her horse. And this was probably one of the most beautifully shot scenes of the entire series. The way Luann was riding that horse like it was Michael the concierge. She was just like, oh, Michael, keep going faster. Wait. Don't you have a wife? Yeah, I don't care either. Keep going faster, Michael. It feels so good. I mean, the entire scene was shot so perfectly, from the palm trees to the sun to the beautiful scenery of the beach, the water. Everything about it was so nice. And then I don't know if we move over to the next day or this scene was out of order, but we move over to Kyle. Kyle is waking up in the confessional. And she's like, oh, I could get used to this, talking in a confessional. This is probably one of my favorite spots here. And I'm like, Kyle, we know a confessional is your favorite spot. We've seen season 11 of Beverly Hills. Like, who are you fooling? Everyone is waking up throughout the house. They're all doing their morning routines. And then we see Kenya. Kenya is outside freaking out because Andy just called her to inform her that Portia won't be returning for the next season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Kenya, of course, she's like, wait, what do you mean she's not returning? Her and Simon's relationship was going to be my storyline. What am I supposed to do now? So now she has to go back to the drawing board and think of a way to come up with an issue or a storyline against Marla or Sheree, possibly Candy, but we all know that that's not going to happen. And she's also freaking out because she has a court hearing online and her phone is not working because her signal is not good. She's saying that she has T-Mobile, so she has to go upstairs to go get her computer. And then we see Kyle head outside to look for Melissa, and Melissa is lounging around by the pool. And then Kyle is like, Melissa, I feel like Cynthia is still upset with me for last night. I mean, just because I didn't feel comfortable enough to answer these questions at her Bailey Q game, I feel like she's still upset with me, but I'm not sure if there's more to it. And honestly, Kyle, there's a combination of things here that's upsetting Cynthia. Cynthia is mostly mad and jealous of Kenya being friends with everybody else besides her. And she's probably looking at it like, wow, like I put forth this whole plan of, giving you the best room here at this villa and you just treat me like dirt now. Like I made up that whole entire nice speech on the airplane with Brooklyn's photo and the whole cutting of the ribbon and stuff. And you don't appreciate any of that. And then when I have my little event, you show up an hour late with macaroni and cheese on top of that. And who knows if that was even tasty. You have no apology, no nothing, no care in the world for that. So I can see why Cynthia now is upset about it and why she should feel some type of way about it. And she's probably just projecting a little bit on Kyle because Kyle, Cynthia was already pissy and jealous of Kenya. And now you're over here adding salt to the wound by saying, oh, I don't feel comfortable with the game. So I can see why Cynthia will be upset. And then we see Cynthia in her room with Luann. And she's like, Luann, I just don't get it. I really don't get Kenya. Kenya came to my game late and I tried to be a good friend and I gave her the best room of the entire house. My whole dedication and my whole speech on the airplane. And I can't believe it. I'm such a good friend, but I'm gonna have a good conversation with Kenya. Okay, so it's just gonna be a matter of time, but I'm gonna have to talk to her. I'm gonna have a sit down. Eventually, Melissa, Teresa, Cynthia, and Luann go downstairs to eat breakfast at the big long table. And then Kyle, she eventually makes her way downstairs as well. And she's telling everybody, oh, good morning. How's everybody? And you could tell that there's some tension between Cynthia and Kyle because Cynthia is just avoiding all types of eye contact. And you could tell that Kyle in her confessional, she's like, I don't know, something's going on here. I'm not sure what's the problem, because Cynthia, she's just doing everything but talking to Kyle. She's like, yeah, can you pass me those eggs right there? Can you pass me some orange juice, Melissa? Oh, hey, Kyle, hey. Oh, did I tell you, Teresa, I love New Jersey Housewives. Like, New Jersey is probably one of the best Housewives franchises besides Atlanta, honestly, yes. Oh, and I love New York as well. Yeah, Luann, I love New York. Even Orange County. Orange County is honestly the only California Housewives franchise that I actually, pay attention to. I don't care about, is there any other ones? No, I think there was one called Beverly. Nope, I don't care. I don't care about that. Yeah. Anyway, can you pass me some scrambled eggs? Like, it was that much tension between Cynthia and Kyle. And Kyle she finally was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk to her. It is what it is. And then she was just like, Cynthia, I know you're still upset with me about not feeling comfortable with the game last night, and I'm so sorry. Like, if I made you feel some type of way, and you know, this is such a different lighting to see Kyle in, because usually when we see her in her perspective show, you know, in Beverly Hills Housewives, she's usually like the puppet master, and she's kind of the one that's like, she puts like the battery in people's backs, and she's like, okay, go and do my bidding and stuff. But here, she actually has to go one-on-one with the women if she has an issue or a conflict, instead of hiding in the confessionals. I mean, she can do the confessionals as well, but if she has an issue, she can't rely on anybody, because it's only her from Beverly Hills on this cast specifically. And then Cynthia's like, it's okay, I understand, it's fine, like, I guess I'll tune in for season 12 or season 13 of Beverly Hills, maybe, like, I guess. And then Cynthia's just like, you know, I went out of my way to adjust the game for everybody, and everybody they didn't feel happy about it. And Kyle, I don't know, I just thought that we were better than that, but it's okay. I mean, I understand now, and I guess we could put it across the table and just leave it there. And then Kyle is just like, God, like, this is so dramatic. Like, even the people that I hang around with, you know, I'm assuming that she means Erica, Lisa, Dorit, and Beverly Hills, aren't this dramatic. I'm like, they're not, like, are we forgetting, or what? Are we forgetting that, Kyle? Then we see Kenya make her way over to the table where they're all at. And I'm like, okay, first we had tension between Cynthia and Kyle. Now we're going to get double the tension between Cynthia and Kenya, because Cynthia has not addressed her issues with Kenya one-on-one yet. So Kenya, she's coming in and she's so depressed. She's in her feelings, because she's still going through this whole custody battle with Mark. She's still going through the divorce with Mark. And then she also drops this huge bomb on us, and she lets us know that everything that she's going through right now with the court system, with Mark and Brooklyn, it's all going to be on a public forum. I'm like, why? Like, what is the point of that? I mean, is it because of the pandemic that everything has to be done online or something? Why is it public? Why is it not private? I mean, I don't really know the court system like that, but I don't get what the purpose of that would be, because that would just be a bigger opportunity for certain blogs to kind of take some information of what's going on a public forum and be like, okay, let me take this information out and put it on a headline so I could get clicks and views to my websites or something. But I don't get what the purpose of that is. I mean, if you're going to do it that way, just do it privately. You know, even Melissa said it. Melissa was just like, yeah, that's kind of like Cardi B's album. It's an invasion of privacy. It's way too much. And then she also lets us know that she was with Mark for 4 years. She's been with him for 4 years. I'm like, has it really been that long? I mean, it feels like just yesterday they were together, and now she's saying that they've been married for 4 years. I mean, if they would have made it to June, I think they're divorced now, right? But 4 years, that is insane. But Cynthia, regardless, Cynthia, you could tell that she wanted to care, but because she's still in her feelings as well from the night before and Kenya's antics, she's just like, yeah, I want to care, but the other part of me is just like, no, because you didn't care about my feelings, so I'm not gonna care about yours. So I'm just gonna watch from the sidelines, because Cynthia was just like, oh, Kenya. Anyways, Kyle, can you pass me the waffles? Like, Cynthia was just not having it. I'm like, Cynthia, you're so petty, but I can see why. Because, I mean, if Kenya's not going to care about your event, why should you care about her life falling apart? But then again, it's a little bit more personal, but still. And did y'all notice the subtle shade that Kenya threw to Cynthia? I'm not sure if it was done on purpose or not, but Kenya, she was just sitting there. And then Luann, she looks over and she's like, Kenya, do you want some potato salad? And Kenya, she looks over at it and she's just like, for breakfast? No, thank you. Because just the night before, she was making fun of it, saying that, oh, it didn't taste good. It should have stayed in Atlanta instead of coming to the trip with them. Because Cynthia obviously is the one who made it, I believe. Or at least she's the one responsible for having it here for everybody else to eat. And as soon as Kenya said that, Cynthia, she whipped her neck over to her and she was just like... And then they put the shady music in the background. So I'm not sure if it was done on purpose. But regardless, they start talking. I think it was Kyle. I'm not sure why Kyle brought it up. But Kyle was just like, oh yeah, Mauricio gets a lot of naked pictures in his DMs. I'm like, okay, well, way to be relatable to Kenya, Kyle. I mean, she's over here sad, about to fall apart over Mark. But okay, let's talk about these nudes. And then they start talking about, you know, different explicit content that they get in their DMs and stuff. And then Teresa's like, yeah, I get porn in my WhatsApp. I'm like, WhatsApp? What kind of WhatsApp do you have? My WhatsApp is so dry. I mean, you know. And then Luann, she's in heat because Michael already has her in a tizzy. So when she starts talking to Cynthia, she's like, wait, I know somebody here had a bachelorette party or whatever. What was his name? Let me pretend like I don't know his name. Bolo. That's his name, Bolo. And I'm like, why are we bringing up this man again? I mean, we already had a whole season of Bolo nonstop, Bolo Gate or whatever. And now we're going to discuss him again. And Cynthia's like, yeah, he was there at my bachelorette party. What about him? And then Luann, she starts explaining, oh yeah, somebody sent me a video of him and he was fucking a melon or whatever, but he was inside the melon. And then it went, when he was like, humping it or whatever, it exploded in the end. And I'm like, what? A melon? Bolo? Like, if anybody has that video or could find me that video, please feel free to send it to me. I mean, I'm going to send it to a friend. It's not necessarily for me to watch, but I'm just like, what? A melon with a... Ooh, that's a lot. And then here comes Ramona walking in on the conversation. And of course, all she hears is Bolo, penises being as big as an elephant trunk or a fucking melon. And she's just like, oh, I can't believe the conversation that these women are having. I mean, it's just such slutty conversations. I mean, aren't we all classy women here? I'm a classy woman. I am a classy woman. I am not a slut like some of these sluts here. I can't believe the conversations that they're having. And I'm like, Ramona, who died and said that you were classy? Who died and made you classy? You are not classy at all. You don't even have etiquette or manners. Like, what? Like, she was really complaining about that. I'm like, lady, please cut it out, because you are the least classiest woman on this cast. Somebody lied to her several times and told her she was fly, hot, and classy, and she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sorts. And then the concierge, Michael, he shows up to Luann's room and he's like, okay, so what are the plans for today? Because I know you wanted to do like some rapper massage thing or whatever for all of the women. And then they start talking about the feet. And then Michael is like, oh, don't look at my feet right now. And then Luann's like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to have good looking feet when you have a good looking face. Skirt! On the contrary, Luann, this is just my little thing, but I like a nice looking foot, so Michael, you can have a pretty face, you could look as handsome as whatever, but if your feet don't look right, then, the situation won't feel right. So Luann, cut it out, don't put that in his head. Like, take care of your feet. But they start flirting with each other back and forth. And I'm just like, Luann, where's Nene Leakes when you need her? Close your legs to married men. What? Close your legs to married men. Like, she is really full on just having a conversation with him. And then we get a flashback to like the day before when they were on the beach. And then I believe Michael started talking to her in French and was just like, oh yeah, I speak French because I'm sexy or whatever. And both of them, I think it was French, right? Both of them were talking French to each other. And it was kind of, the French accent is just, it makes me moist in certain areas. But then Teresa called it out because Teresa's like, wait a minute, aren't you married? I see your wedding band. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm married. And then Luann's excuse is, oh yeah, he's married, but he's not dead. He could flirt. And I'm like, Luann, I mean, then again, I don't know. There's rules for everybody, I guess. And there's boundaries that people are willing to cross. But I'm like, this is not the movie Obsessed with Beyonce. You need to cut it out. Like, like, he has a whole wife and you just don't care. And this is only the iceberg because we get to see later on what they start doing to each other physically. And I'm just like, I wonder what his wife is doing, like looking back at this. And it's just like, wow, you know what? I'm going to cancel my subscription to Peacock because I can't watch any more of my husband cheating on me like this. I mean, honestly, if I was Andy, I would just flip this whole situation. For next season of The Real Housewives of New York, if they continue and, somehow they're trying to revamp it, they should get Michael's wife to hold the apple for next season. That would be so good. And then confront Luann and be like, why were you flirting with my man and talking about feet? What was that about? And you didn't care. You knew he was married. So, I mean, I'm just saying, Andy, that's just my little idea. Call me. So everybody's getting ready to go outside and play volleyball with John, Ramona's boy toy that she has a crush on. He's out there because he's going to teach them certain ways and certain instructions on how to play volleyball in the sand. But mostly it's because Ramona, she just has a crush on him and she just wants to play the damsel in distress. Like, oh, I don't know how to play volleyball. Can you teach me how to do it? Do you have any balls that maybe I should like hit or anything, John? What do you think? That's what Ramona wants to go for. And I'm not mad at her for it. Like I said, if you want some vacation dick, get some vacation dick. And then Kyle, she's all glammed up. I'm not sure where she was going. But honestly, I'm not mad at her either, because if I don't look good, I'm not going to anything either. So she had on high heels. I think she had like the little slipper high heels on. She had a skirt, everything, jewelry. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're not going to play volleyball. It's fine. We're going to like a volleyball gala. And then Kenya tells Kyle and Melissa, I think Cynthia is mad at me. She's not really talking to me. And then Kyle is like, yeah, I think she's mad at me too, but she's mostly mad at you, right? And then Cynthia's like, yeah, I think she's mad because she's jealous because me and you, Melissa, me and you are vibing off really, really good. And she thinks that, maybe I like you over her or something. And then here comes Melissa. Kenya should have never told Melissa that, because Melissa took it and she just ran with it, because she was just like, oh my God, stop. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. Are you kidding? Oh my God. No. Are you lying? She thinks that about me? Really? Wait, cameraman, you got my reaction? You want me to do it again? You got it? Okay. Oh my God, stop it. No, even Teresa doesn't even feel that way about me. I mean, she's fine with me being friends with whoever. And I'm like, duh, Melissa, Teresa hates you. She just sprinkles it, with a little bit of love. But deep down inside, we all know that woman doesn't like you. But regardless, that was that. Ramona comes in. Ramona, she's also glammed up. And then it was so funny that she was just like saying, oh, I can't believe they're talking these slutty conversations. I'm a classy woman. And then 5 minutes later, you're over here ripping your shirt off and showing your breast and everything to the camera. So I'm just like, what are we doing? I thought you were classy. What? I mean, I have no problem with it, but I thought you, Ramona, I thought you were classy, but I guess John just makes her do whatever. But they all go outside on the beach to play volleyball, and ultimately they all suck. Like, I don't know what they were doing. I mean, I don't think I would be good at volleyball either on the beach, let alone on the stand. I mean, I could barely hit it when I'm on land. But Teresa, she was just like, if I was Teresa, I would have just muster up all my anger and just pretend that the ball is like Danielle Staub or something, and just like whack it. Because we all know Teresa, she still has some animosity for Danielle, but they played a cute little game. It was a cute little activity, and it was cute to see Ramona try to get a little closer to John. So after the volleyball game, they're all discussing how they're gonna get body massages, and then Cynthia, she lets us know underneath her breath, yeah, I could go for a body massage because I have a lot of tension built up that I need worked out. So she's obviously talking about Kenya. She tells Kenya, do you want to go for a walk? Let's go for a walk so we could discuss our issues. So as they go on their walk, Kenya is listening to Cynthia go on and on and on about how she felt some type of way about everything that happened last night. So Cynthia's telling Kenya, I feel so disrespected. You showed up an hour late, and you showed up with a plate of macaroni and cheese, and I just thought it was so disrespectful. I was so hurt. I thought we were better friends than this. I thought we were the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I just can't believe that you did this to me. And Kenya, her excuse as well, I mean, my glam person, they were like an hour late, so it caused me to be late, so that's why. But I'm like, okay, Kenya, it'll be a little bit more understanding if you showed up and actually apologized, or at least pretended that you cared. You just showed up like, okay, I'm here. Okay, what dumb game are we playing today? Okay, fine, we'll play the stupid game. Let me sit down. And on top of that, when they did the whole flashbacks, because Cynthia was telling you that you were making faces with your eyes and with your face expressions, in the flashbacks, that's exactly what you were doing. So if you were trying to be a good friend, you wouldn't be shady in front of all these women that you don't really know like that. When you know Cynthia and you're being shady, like with Kyle or everybody else, like just like rolling your eyes nonstop. So I was with Cynthia with that. But Cynthia, I was just like, okay, Cynthia, let's reel it back a little bit, because even Kenya told her, okay, Cynthia, you're getting turned up for no reason, because Cynthia, she was just like the big bad wolf. I'm like, relax. Like, she was so upset, and she just kept circling Kenya. I'm like, okay, Cynthia, you're getting way too close. All it takes is one good elbow, and both of you are gonna be rolling around on the beach. And you're next to the water too, like, relax. But I understand Cynthia's frustration, especially when Kenya, she could be hard-headed sometimes, and sometimes it won't click in her head until like you really like, okay, Kenya, this is how I feel. And even then, she's probably not gonna get it, because at the end of this conversation, I feel like there was nothing resolved. I'm like, okay, they both discussed it, but did Kenya actually listen? Cynthia, I mean, she basically, poured her heart out to her, but did Kenya actually care? I'm not sure. They got back to the group after their conversation, and they're like, okay, is everything okay? Like Kyle asked, is everything fine? Cynthia was like, yeah, I'm fine. I said everything I needed. And Kenya, she just seemed annoyed, so I don't know. Again, it's just very unfortunate, because Cynthia, she's trying to have a backbone, but it seems that Kenya just does not care. She sees that the other women like her, and she gravitated towards that much quicker, and she left Cynthia in the dust. So then everybody heads back to the villa, and they're all eating outside, and then Cynthia, she asks Kyle, can you tell me more about this astrologer? Because Kyle had told the group that she's bringing an astrologer to the house to check everybody out. And I'm like, okay, Kyle, I see you with the producing again, because astrologer and housewives, it just never mixes well. And we all get the little flashback from the dinner party from hell from 11 years ago with that astrologer. So, I'm like, okay, I'm all here for this. And then Kyle, she lets us know that she believes in stuff like this because she had an astrologer told her once that she was going to be on a TV show one day with her sister, and it was going to premiere around October or something like that. And then that's when it actually premiered. And I'm just like, okay, Kyle, that's cute and all that, but I just have one question. Did the astrologer also told you or predict your future that you were going to steal Kim's goddamn house? I just want to know. And then the conversation shifts over to Melissa and Teresa. And this is where things started to get a little bit heated between the two sisters-in-law, because I think it was Ramona or Cynthia that asked Melissa and was just like, oh, so how does it feel being on the show together? Like, how is that dynamic? I mean, both of you, that must be a good thing, right? Like, you two love each other, or like, what's going on? And then Melissa, she said the complete opposite of what Teresa would say, because Melissa was just like, yeah, no, we love each other. We're best friends. We tie each other's shoelaces. We mismatch each other's clothes. We do each other's socks and everything. We do each other's hairs, like everything together. We do everything together. We're like ride or dies. Like, me and Teresa are the definition of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Meanwhile, Teresa's just on the side like, I don't love her. What does she mean? Has she not seen the movie Godfather? Like, Teresa started getting annoyed because Teresa told Melissa, the reason why you got on the show was because you supposedly messaged Andy that you wanted to be on with my brother. So that's why. But Melissa, she was just like, no, that's not how it happened. They reached out to me and they were messaging people that knew you, and they wanted a family dynamic on the show for New Jersey specifically. And Teresa's like, no, I don't think so. Andy's right there. You could talk to him. I don't think so, Melissa. No, you wanted on the show. You wanted my fame. You wanted to ride my coattails. That's the problem right here. But Melissa and her, they kept bumping heads, and I think it was Luann that was in the middle. And Luann was just like, okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit. And then I think it was Cynthia or Kenya. Okay, everybody, let's hold the table down because we don't want Teresa to flip it. But here I got little twinkles of the old Teresa, because Teresa started getting pissed and started getting upset at Melissa. And at the end of the day, Melissa got on the show. I'm not sure how specifically she got on the show, if she actually did message Andy and was just like, okay, I know Teresa, I'm married to her brother, can you get me on the show, or vice versa. But regardless, she got on the show. And I would say when she did get on the show in Jersey, season 3, she did come in and spice things up, because then they flash back to the christening. And the christening is a well-known episode in the Jersey Housewives. Like, it's one of the most iconic episodes. I mean, it was chaotic. And let's not pretend that Melissa versus Teresa and their brother, the whole brother dynamic, and then her husband, all of that together, like clashing all the time. Like, it was a really good mix. But Teresa, she just didn't want family on the show, because she wanted to show everybody in Jersey, or to the world, or whoever was watching, that people in Jersey, we're loyal like the Godfather, and we all keep everything in the family and everything. But I just want to let everybody know that I'm from New Jersey, and skirt, that whole thing is a lie. Like, no, nobody here is loyal to their family like that. Like, no. Your family could be thrown right underneath the bus, just like anybody else too, if they do something stupid. So it's finally massage time, but it wouldn't be massage time without having Luann run around spreading her towel to everybody and taking off her bra and just swinging it around. And then we see Michael. He's just trying to hold her. He's trying to hug her. He's trying to get a feel on her and everything. And I'm like, aren't you married? I mean, unless you have an open marriage, go for it. But aren't you married? Again, Andy, get his wife on the next season of The Real Housewives of New York ASAP. If you want ratings, and if you want The Real Housewives of New York to rise from the dead again with high ratings and be the #1 show in some people's eyes, Ramona's eyes, just get his wife on the next season and have her be the center apple. But, if I was the cameraman, I would have been like, okay, give me my phone. I'm going to record this really quickly. I'm going to record this, and I'm going to send it to his wife by email. And I'm going to send it anonymously. Give me my phone. Like, that's all I would have done. I would have just recorded that little scene and then send it off, and just, I have no idea who sent that type of footage to his wife to see what kind of reaction that, she would give. And then they lay on these tables, and some of them have towels on their back. Some of them have this aluminum foil wrapped around them, and they look like expired burritos. And then we see Cynthia. She's on the far left of everybody, and she's getting a good massage because even Kyle had to, she poked her head up when she started hearing all these moans, and she's just like, wait, what's going on here?
Oh, oh, no, wait, right there. No, my lower back. Oh my God, right there. Hit the spot. Wait a minute. I'm about to, oh, no. Okay, a little bit higher.
And Kyle was like, well, that massage sounds like it's doing her good, so maybe now she'll forgive me. I mean, the way she was moaning and groaning, you would think that, Mike wouldn't, put it down as good as she says he does, but okay. So it's finally time for Kyle's event that she's having for the group. So they all head over to this place where they're supposed to meet the astrologer and have dinner with her at the same time. But before that, they all decide to take a group picture. And then Ramona, the Karen, jumped out because she starts bossing around the guy and she doesn't even know his title. And she's like, here, can you take a picture? Take a picture of all of us. We're going to take a group picture. No, not with the Android. Put the Android down. I don't use that. I don't even know what type of phone that is. Here, the iPhone 13. I got the iPhone 13 and put it on portrait mode and make sure that it's on night mode because it's nighttime. Wait, but scoot back a little bit. Move back a little bit and get the pool. Do you got everybody? Make sure that you just got me at least. Like, no, it's fine if you don't have Kenya. It's fine. Like, no, go ahead. Are you ready? Okay, no, keep moving back. Did I say to stop taking pictures? Take more. Do a photo burst. You know what? Make a boomerang. Make a video. Like, she just continued bossing him around. And he made sure to stop that shit because he was just like, you do know that I'm the general manager, right? Like, she got quiet so quickly. If I was him, I would have been like, okay, lady, you want a picture? Whoop! And then just throw the phone into the pool right next to me. Like, absolutely not. You're not going to be bossing me around in my work establishment? Absolutely not. I don't care how much money you got. But regardless, they move on from that. They go sit down. The astrologer shows up. And then Melissa, she puts her own foot in her mouth because she's like, oh, you're so pretty. You remind me of the Disney, the lady, what's Cruella, Cruella DeVille. And I'm just like, okay, I think it's a compliment. I mean, Cruella DeVille is a bad bitch. She's a fashion icon. I mean, other than that, that's about it. But Kenya was just like, I don't think that you should be calling anybody Cruella DeVille. The lady, she didn't seem very pleased either. I mean, it looked like they just woke her up from a nap like 5 minutes ago and told her, okay, go out there and just read off the script. And it's fine if you're not an astrologer. Just go out and just read whatever we put out for you. And that's exactly what she did because she started talking and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And it's just, I mean, I believe in stuff like this, but it just sounded all over the place. She told Kyle that she was a man at one point in her life. She told Kenya that she was a shaman. And she just kept going around to everybody just saying random stuff. And it just feel like nobody really was into it like that. I mean, she was just like, yeah, you have a green pinky toe. Yes, no, I definitely see that in your future. As for you, no, I can definitely see you going to Burger King right after this trip. I see that in my future. Like, that's just the stuff that she was just throwing out. I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess it was a cute little conversation, but regardless, I think she gets to eat, right? I'm not sure if she ate or something or whatever, but I guess they kidnapped her because she left. She got up. She left, and then Luann and Kenya, they started talking about each other's titles because Kenya, she used to be Miss USA. I hope I get that correctly because I know Kenya gets sensitive. So Kenya, if you're watching this, yeah, it's Miss USA. And then Luann, she won a title for Miss Lady or something in Europe, and they both started bonding over that. And Cynthia, she's sitting right next to Kenya, and she's trying to jump in to, to interact with them and stuff, but Kenya was not having it. And I'm not sure if it was just the editing, but it was very mean. I'm like, damn, Kenya, let Cynthia talk. Like, Cynthia's trying to talk, but Kenya was just not having it. I mean, Kenya was just like talking, and Cynthia was just like,
Yeah, and then when I did Miss USA, they gave me like a free cart and some free flowers. Yeah, some really cool flowers. They were so cute and so adorable. I got to go everywhere in the world, and okay. And I got to go everywhere in the world.
I used to be
and everything was just so much fun. It was just such a beautiful
Oh,
time.
I also did that.
It was really nice, Luann. Like, it really was. Yes. I just had such a good time. It was
But at least Cynthia's spirit wasn't dampened because they go back to the house and she and Kyle actually had a conversation and they seem to be getting along now. So I'm like, okay, so I think she has forgiven Kyle. Maybe not so much Kenya, especially for the conversation just now, like her constantly interrupting her. Maybe not Kenya, but I think she moved on with Kyle and she starts having a conversation with her and she's like, wait, what are you about to do now? You're about to make margaritas? Everybody here is dropping like flies. But Kyle is just like, no, no, I want to party, I want to get lit, I want to do everything. So I believe she calls Mauricio. And she has Ramona next to her, and she's like, how do we make a margarita, Mauricio? And Mauricio's like, wait, hold on, I'm trying to hide my mistress behind the door, so that way you don't see her on the phone. And Kyle is just like, oh, you're so silly, it's fine, just tell me how you make a margarita. And then Mauricio's just like, just mix this shit. And then that's just the way the episode ends, with her and Ramona just basically, making a margarita, and who knows how the rest of the night went. I'm assuming they both got drunk and passed out. And that was that, y'all. What did y'all think about this episode? I know that the whole series itself is already over. They already aired the finale, but what did y'all think about this episode specifically? I thought it was cute. I mean, what did y'all think about the whole dynamic between Cynthia and Kenya? Do y'all think that Cynthia is doing a little bit too much still, or should she let it go by now? I mean, I think she was trying to move forward, but you see what happened at the end of this episode. Kenya constantly cutting her off. So I'm not sure. But again, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Bye, y'all. Mwah.